What a day. The Ultimate Cup competition. Challenge Cup round 1. The Brotherhood fully prepared. Mixed Grill's about to get real. PQ en route to the greatest game that there is. Rugby League. Let's go Warriors, get those dubs up. Let's rock and roll this weekend. Let's go Kiwis in London, come on! Don't know how you stop it though. How do you stop this? Give us a shout out. It's a bit shaky, this pavement is so bad. Can't find the stop button. Let's go! Oh, there's car. Cheers, mate. Nearly run down. This is what happens when you're live. It's not as good as Facebook Live. Hang on, let me put it in the other hand. How's that? Is that better? Oh, left hand's a bit shaky. Let's go with the spoons. Let's go Wasps. Don't forget gates open 1 PM. If you want to get there for the pre-game, get there at 12. Watch the boys walking in. It's the big one. The ultimate Rugby League Challenge Cup. Gospel of the Oval Ball's going to be there, not live. Podcast will be going out later next week. We are going to be smashing it up at Wasp today. Beers are flowing. The greatest game's flowing. Kimbo-led Wests Warriors going to be unleashing for you, the adoring populace. Let's go! Now let's see how we stop this. Not a clue. It's probably going to be going all the way. Here we go. Look. Anyone know how this? Ah, yeah. Well, hello and welcome to the 9th Psalm of Yes PQ's Gospel of the Oval Ball for your Gillick-like delectation, waking up those earlobes, getting those sounds going straight through to the brain and the heartbeat that is Rugby League with a hint of NFL, because believe it or not, we're about 6 days away from the greatest show on turf, which is the 3rd round of the Ultimate Cup competition, the Challenge Cup. 2 of London's finest titans going at it toe to toe, head to head at Chiswick Rugby Club on Saturday afternoon at 2 PM. The home team, the Jared Warren, Vince Spur coached Hammersmith Hills Hoist, current SCL champs, await the arrival of the Brotherhood, yours, ours, and the Kimbo Parkinson built, inspired and led Wests Warriors in the 3rd round of the Challenge Cup proper, which is going to be an absolute explosion of the greatest game. Talk about wanting to bring Tasty back to the greatest game. This game is going to bring Tasty back to the 3rd round on a global stage, not local, not national, but without a doubt international, and is going to unleash the greatest beast you have ever seen playing the greatest game, that is Rugby League. With that in mind, there's so much to get through. We've got the review of the incredible matchup that we had the other week at the home of Rugby League in West London, that is Wasps FC. What a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening and night was had by one and all, which led to this incredible draw. Some might say incredible. I was sitting there on 10 to gnashing my nails thinking, yeah, let's get another Northern team down, and then it comes out, we're down to the last 6 or 7 teams. Hammersmith get the home draw, and then you know what's coming because there's only us left and maybe 1 or 2 other amateurs. I was leaning towards if we could get a Siddle or a Stanley, but they'd already been selected from the draw. Maybe there was hot balls, maybe there was cold balls. We might have been a warm one with Hammersmith, and they went, and the Challenge Cup people and the BBC, who didn't want to put up the cameras at Chiswick Rugby Club, thought, right, let's have some of that. We get the 2 warm balls out down in West London, we can eliminate one, and then we line them up, because it turns out the winner of this round 3 matchup takes on Halifax Heartland team at the Shay on the M62 in Yorkshire. Another Yorkshire team. Incredible times, incredible times. Without a doubt, this is going to be one of the best sporting weekends thus far in 2024. We have the greatest show on turf at Chiswick Rugby Union. This is the gospel of the oval ball. Contact sport, living it up. I can feel it. Living it up, is it a false emotion? Level 42, get down. Not only is it going to be an incredible weekend, this is yet another stepping stone on the journey to history. 2 London teams, the 3rd round of the ultimate cup competition, that is the Challenge Cup. A centuries-old tradition played by the majority of the time M62 teams across the Pennines and Cumbria. We now have 2 teams representing London. Unfortunately, we got to go head to head. London is guaranteed a 4th round berth in the Challenge Cup, which nobody see coming when the draw was originally made. Who could have predicted that it would be one of the London teams that would be attempting to get into round 4? You couldn't. The way the draw normally goes, potentially we would get drawn against League One or Championship opposition. This time we've avoided. This is a repeat of the 2023 Grand Final, and it is going to go off large. We're going to build the momentum. We're going to start sharing across all of the platforms that has begun this week, which I will add this in as well. And there's going to be some great tunes. There's going to be loads of bodies down there. Make sure you get down to Chiswick Rugby Club nice and early, because this place is going to be packed to the rafters. The roar is going to rip the roof off of Barnesbridge Station, and the numbers are going to be emptying the barrels of beer. Our journey will begin from the east side of this great city with a bus trip, 2 underground trains, and a stroll down to the Red Lion. That is the Pineapple, that is the Witherspoons, minus a mixed grill. Because of the early arrival in nature, I would have to permit myself a small breakfast to line me up for the big meal that was about to come, and the arrival of the younger brother AQ, Andrew Quill, to the proceedings, who had never seen a rugby league game in his life but is now fully turned on and aware of just how great our game is and what the Challenge Cup means to everybody. Post breakfast in the Red Lion and Pineapple, a journey would ensue that would see us arrive at Wasps for the pre-game high fives, the first round of beers, watching the warm-up, watching Rochdale Mayfield arrive as both teams prepared for what was going to be the most mouth-watering salvation game of the round. So upon arrival of the first round of beers of the day, getting to watch the warm-up of the Brotherhood and our northern visitors, the legends that are Rochdale Mayfield, travelling all the way down from the M62, the M6, the M1, all the way down to the Uxbridge Road, and a date with destiny. North versus South, M62 v M25, SCL, NCL. Could it get any better? And yes, it could. It was an absolute barnstormer of a rugby league matchup. No one could have anticipated how it was going to go. We're going to go through the lineup of the teams. Both teams would be playing ultimate rugby league out there today. The weather was perfect. Blue skies overhead, sunshine, tropical temperatures compared to the previous round. This was at least 8 or 9 degrees, but we were still there. Wests Warriors hoodies, caps, jackets, you name it, we wore it. The crowd was ready, the crowd was primed. The Rochdale coach and their fans, they were primed for what was about to be the best game of the weekend. Massive shout out to the team selected by the legend that is KJ Parkinson. This another tasty back 5. No change from the previous win, and why would you change when you got these 5 playing on fire at fullback? That means we got young Blake Nahu on the wing, Reece Walker, bearded legend, lighting it up next to him, to Marty Gribble, who was unplayable and unstoppable. On the opposite side, we got Mr. 75%, the Prince of Thatto, Daniel Munt, doing his thing. Playing centre inside of him, another barnstorming performance, Harrison Nichols. And there's your back 5, as tasty as it's ever been in Wests Warriors. The halves, no change there. Jacob Thomas, Jack Payne directing traffic. Leading off of them, Louis Robinson, his twin Dom Stock, dominating in the middle, being bossed from hooker by the ever irresistible Neil Thorman. Playing outside of them in the second row, Tom Robertson, Mitchell Large returned back from his global tour, and of course Captain Chris Watkins, the legend that is. On the bench, Yorkshire's finest Will Poaching, Hemmel's finest Sam Griffiths, N22's finest Mikey Greenhow, get you some of that. At 17, making his return, Keanu. After a long layoff, we got to finally see what this lad's all about, and without a doubt was so impressive when he come on. He was leaving devastation behind him. And then 18th is not the Queensland scaffold, a New South Wales scaffolding sensation. That is Bowen Butlin, and of course, coached by the legend.
Is this not the greatest day ever? Rugby League, North versus South, M25, M62. Rochdale Mayfield, Wests Warriors. Let's go, brothers in arms, Rugby League, the single most greatest day, bringing Tasty back to the ultimate competition that is the Challenge Cup.
London, Wests Warriors, playing out of Acton, playing out of Wasps FC on Twyford Avenue in West 3. We just did the unthinkable, the absolutely unthinkable. People were looking at me as if I'm an absolute lunatic, but you know what? I am so excited. We've just turned over one of the top teams in the NCL. Let that settle in. No one give us a chance. No one give us a hope. I can't stop smiling. I am so happy. I am jacked, locked and Dom stocked. Rugby League wins, Wests Warriors wins. It's a milky bars are on me. Do you know how happy I am? I have no voice at all. The family that is the Quills, family that is the Warriors, the brother that is Kimbo, has lifted me to a place that I cannot fathom. I cannot put my finger on it as to why. It just is. We're in round 3. We're in the biggest competition that's ever been in Rugby League, and we're in round 3. It is absolutely immense. It is incredible. We are in the 3rd round of the Challenge Cup, baby! Let's go!
So if you've been keeping up with the previous Challenge Cup videos, you will know what is about to occur as we approach round 3 this coming weekend. A look back in the archives and see which legends booted up for the Brotherhood of Wests Warriors. And we rewind back to 2017, where we made history as a club for the first time ever when a London amateur team got through to round 3. And the following legends would boot up for the main man that is Kimbo, the legend. Here we go. Captain Cocktail, BJ Dean, the body that is Brett Stratton. We got Dazzling, Dazzling David Dyer, Handsome Hayden Nankara. We got G-Baby, Graham Harris. In the halves, obviously, we got young Dan Bryan, and we've got Mr. Lowestoft himself, Tom Zerbel out there. Then we had a young Brad Ladd playing on one edge by the looks of things. Running things in the background was Joshua Hack, the big legend himself. Out there as well, Dario Esposito leading the front line. In the backs, I believe, at the time was a young version of BDW, the Dawson Williams. Then, of course, the straight line slammer, Sebi Taylor, my straight line prince. The powerhouse, that is Mr. Coachella. Morgan London lighting it up was, of course, the original, my boy Jesse Walker. Backing him up somewhere along the way on the sideline was a young Glenn Brummett. Obviously at fullback was now applying his trade in Super League, the Bass that is Jared Bassett. On the bench looking super cool, Josh Hutchison as well. In the pack we got the big wheeler himself, Jason Kershaw. Running the warm-up, Max Bracken, Adam Wilson up front with a young Mr. Rock and Roll, Luke Donovan. Nothing but tasty, with alongside Jake Hughes as well, to name but a few. What a lineup that was. Wow. Bringing us closer to present day in 2023. Round 3 of the Challenge Cup would see us travel up to 7-time champs and the legendary coach that is John Keir and his lineup of the Widnes Vikings, but the legend that is Kimbo would have his lineup already sorted, and it would be as follows. At fullback, yep, you guessed it, would be Blake Nahu. On the wings, Mitchy Ingham, skiing sensation. On the opposite wing, the Prince of Thatto, Mr. 75%er, due to get out into second gear this day. Young Daniel Munt in the centres. One side, Tom Robertson. On the other, Mitchell Large, just making his return. In the halves, the Hammer Henschel next to my boy Jack Payne game. In the props, young Louis Robinson, and locked, jocked and stocks, Dom Stock. At hooker, Jake Ritchie, the Prince of Newcastle. The Prince of Hemel, Sammy G in the second row with Mitch Cairns Nelson. Runs himself empty every week alongside Captain Concrete, Chris Watkins. On the interchange bench would be Couchy, Ryan Couchy, the legend of London. The luscious long locks of Ben Yerby. Kyle Tucker, the power that is. And of course, my Welsh wizard, Aaron Lewis. In the reserves, we had the North East finest son, Adam Dax. The Edge Supreme, Devon Wheatman Norris. Kai Wright, my smiling assassin. And Watford's finest, Ben Solomon. All that would do the club proud in a monstrous day of Challenge Cup rugby for the Brotherhood and Wests Warriors in 2023. Roll on 24, and what will we see? Well, if that intro doesn't get you locked, jocked and doms stocked for the round 3 Challenge Cup matchup of London's finest, the Kings of the SCL, Hammersmith of West 6, Wests Warriors of West 3, trading blows out of Chiswick Rugby Club, former home to both teams, now just Hammersmith. This is going to go off large, and I cannot wait for this game. It's going to be an absolute barnstormer of a matchup. Hammersmith Wests Warriors. From when I first got involved in rugby league in London, this was the game, the grand final that I first turned up to see, and this was another mouth-watering salivation. And this one is not going to be any different. Both teams, obviously, complete change of personnel because you're talking at least 7-8 years back. However, this is the best that the Southern Conference League has to show. Both teams dominated their opponents in the first and second rounds, which is why they're here in round 3. This is going to be such a great advert for the greatest game. It's being played out at Chiswick Rugby Club, Dan Mason Drive, closest station Barnesbridge. If you haven't already booked your tickets, get those train tickets in. Get yourselves down for an incredible afternoon of the greatest game, because if you don't, you are going to miss out on something so special and so historical. This will be the first time that a London amateur team will have progressed to the 4th round proper. And although we got Halifax Panthers in the next round, who gives a rat's? Nobody. Because this is the game of the round. This is where the BBC Channel 4 ITV should have been planting their cameras. Sky Sports should have had a highlights package building a plethora of tries, plethora of massive shots, and an incredible game that the public is never going to see unless they're tapped in to the YouTube account of each team whether they're following Joel Boom Holmes on his Twitter feed. This is going to be an unfortunate loss for Joe Public because they will never get to see the ultimate game in the Ultimate Cup competition. That is the Challenge Cup of Rugby League, and the place to do it, Chiswick Rugby Club, Saturday. If you're not there, like I've already said, make sure you get down because you will not want to miss this. This is going to set the standard for the season and it's going to showcase what we have to offer. Best of London meets the best of London. West 3 meets West 6. North of Chiswick High Road versus south of Chiswick High Road. The M25 heartlands, a brotherhood. Two brotherhoods going head to head. The Hammersmith Hills Hoists. Wests Warriors. Clash of the SCL Titans. Come Saturday. Kimbo Parkinson, the brotherhood that is the Wests Warriors, will be bringing Tasty back to the Ultimate Cup competition, that is the Rugby League Challenge Cup Round 3. Let's get it on! And if that's not enough for you and you like what you hear and you see what you like and you like what you enjoy, then get subscribing and following. We are all over the internet. We're even on LinkedIn, getting the word out there. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it, we're on it. So here's hoping to see you all come Saturday afternoon for the greatest game. I will be there, Wests Warriors will be there, Hammersmith Hills Hoist will be there, and Chiswick Rugby Club is going to be open for one and all to empty every beer barrel and wine bottle that they've got. See you there on Saturday. Miss it, miss out. Get following the greatest game and the greatest verbalizer. One vision, one legend. That is the ever-turning, always inspirational Viking and PQ's gospel of the oval ball. The one and only place to follow rugby league on social media.